Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we've got a box in front of us. Now if you've seen the description of the video, you know what's in this box. Basically this is a computer I picked up a few years ago now. It's an eBay purchase, and we did do a video on this back, I think not long after I got it, seeing if we could get it working. And basically did an AV mod on the modulator, but I couldn't actually get a picture out of it. And I stuck it back in this box. This is the box I got it in, and it got stuck on a shelf and it got completely forgotten about. Up until a couple of days ago, when I was looking for something else, wondered what was in this box and found it again. So I thought what we'd do a bit of a revisit on it, and we'll see if we can actually coax any life out of this Ti-99 4A. So without further ado, let's unpack the box and see what we've got in here. This is, like I said, literally exactly as I left it back then. So we've got the modulator itself. You can see where I've added composite video outputs on it, but we could not get it to work. Like I said, I could not get a video out from it. Now the question is, did I do something wrong in here? Is it a bad modulator, or is there actually something wrong with the Ti-99 itself? So let's get the modulator out and pop that to one side. We'll get the power brick for the Ti out, and we'll put that to one side. We actually do have the quite brilliantly, we do have the cassette interface cables for the computer as well, which is quite nice. So we can at least load some software on it. Unfortunately I don't have any software for this computer, but never mind about that. And here we have the Ti-99. It is a 4A. Unfortunately what it is missing is the brushed aluminium, which would have originally been round it like that. That was missing, unfortunately, but I didn't pay a huge amount of money for this computer. Considering what these type of things are going for now on eBay, I paid, you know, very, very little for this thing. Right. Now, here is the plan. This is a UK PAL version of the Ti-99, and now I believe it's very much like the same situation as it was with the Cocos, as in the UK and the European versions do things a little bit differently to the US versions, and in this instance we should be able to get video out of this without using this modulator block here at all. I don't think you can do with a US version. I think you need this to be able to get video out of the Ti-99. With the UK version, that's our video port there. It actually outputs natively component video, which means we can connect this directly up to any monitor which supports component video, which I do have a few of my flat panel monitors that I use with my vintage stuff actually do have component video on them, so we do have that option. But even better than that, as a quick test, just to see if we've got anything, whether the computer is actually working. And it's, like I said, it's an issue with the modulator, which means that we're not getting any power to it. Using that component output, we can actually get just a basic mono video, just a black and white video output. And what I've done, I had a rummage through all my junk. I've actually found a DIN connector which will plug into the back of the Ti-99 there. It's a slightly funny, it's a 6-pin DIN, but the pin configuration's not quite as standard as most. You know, it's one of the more lesser common 5-pin DINs. And I did have a quick look online, and I have figured out which pins we need to connect up just to get a luminance signal out of it, which is basically a black and white signal. So I thought that's what we will do first. So what I will do is get this connector open. This is like a bit of a ridiculously overkill connector, but it's the only one I had, which is the correct pin out. Right, there it is. We'll pop this open. I need to get that bit out of the middle. They should do it. I think that should just pull out once we took that screw out anyway. Yeah, there we go. Come on, out you come. There we go, lovely. Right. So this is a ridiculously high quality connector, but we'll just use it for the time being for this. Like I say, it won't be. I might actually make up a proper component cable using it, to be fair, after, but just for the time being, it will do just for bodging this up. Let's find a couple of bits of wire to connect it. I'm not even going to put a connector on the end of it for this. I'm just going to solder a couple of bit of sharp pieces of wire to it. We'll use the right colour codes. I can use my crop clips there then to connect it up to my test monitor, just to see if we get any video out of it. So we don't want to keep these too long either, nice and short will do. It is just a quick test, this. And if this, like I say, if we get video out of it using this, we know the computer is basically working, and our fault lies in that modulator. If we don't get any video out of it doing this, we know we actually have a fault with the Ti-99 itself, and then we can actually start delving into this and see if we can repair it, which will be most interesting because I've never actually worked on the insides of a Ti-99. Okay, there we go, that's one. There's two, that'll do us. Okay, now what else do we need to do? Pop that off there, it'll make life easier for soldering this up. If we look at the back of the connection cable there, it is basically the, let me get you zoomed down a little bit so you can see what we're doing. Right, there you go, you can see it. Right, okay, so there's our connector. There's our little pin out of what we're actually doing. So hopefully you can see that. I don't know if it's actually coming out on the camera, that or not. But basically we've got ground to the centre pin there, and luminance is that pin in the corner there. So, get a little bit of solder. Tin these wires up. Okay. We'll fill them solder pots. One there. Okay, one there. That'll do. And the black wire is our ground wire. That'll go into the centre pin. Like that. And then we've just got to connect this to the luminance pin. Come on, stand up. Just while I get this should really get my helping hands out, but that should hold it. Heat that one up, push that in there, let that go off. Okay, there we go. So we've got our ground and our luminance signal there. Might as well put this back together roughly. There we go. Right, there we are. I can pop that back in. Twist them wires together, make life a bit easier for us. Okay, feed them through. I suppose technically we don't really even need to put the rest of the shroud on. This would work fine. I'll just push that in there. Oops, yep. Line that screw up. We don't need to put that back on. You just need to put the screw in so that doesn't come out. There we go. Right, we should now be able to get, like I said, a black and white signal directly out of the Ti-99 with that. So I will get you to zoom back out a bit. There we go, as far out as I can get you anyway. I'll get you up a touch. We'll bring Mr. Ti-99 back in. We'll plug that into the video output, which is there. Go on, plug in. There we go, that's in there. So we've got ground and video there. I'll get the power supply for it. This is purely an AC step down transformer, by the way, a bit like the Dragon 32 uses. There's no actual DC rectification or anything like that done inside the power supply. It's all actually done inside the computer. Right, so that can stay over there when it's and we can plug that power connector straight in the back there. Make sure that's nicely connected. Then we will connect the video up, and all I'm using is my little my little JVC test monitor here, and I'll get you up to that. If we actually do get any signs of life on the computer, I will pan you up and let you have a look. But yes, that's basically what we're going to use. I'll connect And these are just some crock leads I've got, screen crock leads I've got connected up to that. They actually came with my new oscilloscope, but I find them very, very useful just to leave off the back of that for quickly testing video signals. Okay, we will plug in. We'll switch on the video monitor. Obviously we're not going to have any audio or anything, we've literally just got video hooked up, but we'll plug in there and we will switch on the Ti-99, and I've got a light come on the Ti-99 and I did actually see a flicker on the screen there, but nothing has come on. I'll switch off again. Right, we are getting, there's obviously something not right. I will get you up on screen and show you what we are getting. Right, got you there. Let me get you zoomed in a little bit. Touch more, tiny bit more. We'll get you on the screen a bit better. Okay, you're a bit off. Yeah, you can see, you can basically see what the screen's doing there. So I'll switch the Ti-99 back on and you can see what it is currently doing. Well, that time absolutely nothing. Let's try it. Switch it again, switch it on. Ah, that's what we was getting before. So we're getting garbage basically. Switch back off. Switch back on. Yeah, and we're getting garbage again. Off. On. Yeah, and that's all we're getting is just. And this should be able to work with this. That was input there, that's right. There is no usable signal coming through there at all. No, that's definitely set for a PAL. We have got nothing. I'll switch the computer back off and obviously it goes off. So the computer is outputting some form of video. It's just, it's not, you know, it's not working basically. Just for interest, actually, what I'm going to do, I am going to grab the modulator. I'm sure I was only just getting a black screen when I had it connected up to the modulator when we last played with this computer. So, I've got the modulator here. Get you back down into the computer for a little bit. Ooh, come on. There we go. That's better, isn't it? You can see the computer again. Right, so I've got the modulator here. With a hang on, let me get rid of the rest of the cables, we don't need them. Not until we get the computer working, we can try loading some software. So let me get that. We'll unplug that DIN plug we've plugged in. And we will connect the modulator up. Now we need a to come off from there to the monitor. We could just pop. In fact, what we could do is just pop the case off, and I can use my croc clips and clip straight on inside. So we'll do that. Interesting to see. We've actually got flat slotted screws in this rather than Phillips. Pop them out. Pop the lid off. Right. And there we go with the mods that I had done. You can see where I've tapped off from the audio and the video straight off the Aztec modulator there. That should work. What we'll do, we'll take my crop leads from my test monitor. We'll go onto there, which is basically just on the other side of that connector, and the rest goes straight to ground, which we can use anything for ground. We'll use the Aztec modulators can for our ground. So we've got a video signal there, we've got our ground there, and we're going into my test monitor up there. I will get you on the I will get you back up onto the monitor. Okay, there you are. We'll get you zoomed in again so you can see it a bit better. We'll switch on this time and we'll see if there's any difference or it's exactly the same. So switch on, and we get literally nothing at all. Nope, we get absolutely nothing at all. So even if the computer's faulty, it looks like we've got two faults, so we've got more than one fault on this system. It does look like we've got both a fault with the computer itself, because that cable I made up should have given us just a monochrome signal, which we should have been able to see on that monitor. And as you saw, we just got garbage. We just got garbled, basically unsynced video. If this modulator was working, really we should have basically got the same thing, only possibly in colour, out of this modulator, and this didn't show any signs of life at all. We didn't even get any garbage on the screen or anything, which leads me to think, like I said, we've probably got two faults. So what we will do, we'll tackle the faults obviously separately. So we can put this modulator away and we can look at work, because I would like this to be able to output composite. I only have a couple of monitors which are actually have component on them. The main monitors I tend to use down here don't. My big S4000 console over there, that has a component provision on it, and a couple of monitors I have it actually in my office upstairs have component on them, and I think I have one that's buried behind here which isn't really in use which has component on it. But like I said, the ones I use most often don't. They're either got just standard RGB video, video, or they have got composite. The component wasn't used as much in the UK as it was in other countries, so there's not as many that actually use it. So yeah, I think that is going to be the plan. We'll put that, I've just screwed it back together, we'll put that away for now. And in the next part on this little project, I'm going to make this part one. It wasn't meant to be a long video or anything. I was just curious to see, was the computer at fault, was the modulator at fault, and it actually looks like there's a very good chance that both are at fault. So, you know, to make things simpler, it's rather tricky to try and repair a modulator when the computer it's being driven by isn't working. So we will we can use this, or I could even actually make up the full component lead. I'll have to find some appropriate phono connectors and what have you to do it, and make sure I can label it all up so we know which plug plugs in where. I might do that off camera actually, because it's just tedious things like you've just seen me do there, just with a lot more cables. So I might make a full component cable up so we can plug it into a monitor, and then we can actually start trying to fault find this thing and actually find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully get it working again. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, I hope you enjoy this little, we'll call it the, I don't know what we'll call it, it's the Ti-99 Well, let's call it, this is the Ti-99 revisit part 1, shall we say, and hopefully in part 2, like I said, we'll actually crack down into the computer and see if we can figure out what's wrong with this, get this working. Once we've got this working, then we can have a look at that modulator, and hopefully we can get that modulator outputting composite video. And then, like I said, I can use this on a lot more screens. So I hope you enjoyed this little introduction stroke update to the project. So I will say thanks for watching and goodbye.